I think it's great. He's been a good governor. Done a lot for the school district and the colleges because we're college students, so we're able to benefit from the tuition, free tuition eligibility, and also even though I just left high school, it was great to hear about the free lunches for students who need it. So.
It'll be good for the state of Minnesota, I guess. Kind of put us in the limelight again for something more positive than all the negative that's came in the, I don't know, 5 years or so, 7 years that's been going on with everything with the riots and so on and so forth. I don't know. Hopefully puts us in a different spotlight.
Tim Walz is a good moral man. He's got a good background. He's got a good sense of humor. I think he's a perfect match for Kamala Harris. I'm just delighted.
I think it's an amazing pick. One, because our surplus has been epic for however many years running. But two, having new leadership here in Minnesota is going to be a great change for our community. And so, change is happening.
The reason why I like Tim Walz is because I think he's more understanding of the community. He's more focused into listening to different types of groups instead of just one. I like what he does with the working class. I like what he does with like the labor unions and stuff. I think that's really important.
I know he's union strong, so he is for the union. I'm a painter by trade, so to see somebody that is for my union represent us at one of the biggest spotlights, I guess, in the political race, you know, it's something for me because that's my future.
He looks older than 60. She's 59 and he looks kind of like 70, but he's 60, so they're two young people. Both have great senses of humor, both have good humanitarian leanings. I'm delighted. I hope they get in.
I was like, okay. Okay. Oh, that's fun. I had a lot of mixed feelings. I do like that Walz, he does a lot of things that protect like women's rights, reproductive rights, equal rights, LGBTQIA, you know, things that are pretty progressive. However, I thought it wasn't as smart strategically for Kamala. I was hoping that she would choose someone from one of the states that we're trying to win over, like Pennsylvania or Arizona. I'm not sure how much an effect it'll have. I don't know how much the public knows about Walz outside of those that live in Minnesota. And so it might sway Minnesota voters one way or another, but I'm not sure how much of an effect he's going to have on the rest of the world. As long as he's not, like, spewing information out there like J.D. Vance, I think that he'll be fine.
I think it, just like reading what people have been talking online, like how it would be different here than any other view pick. For not a lot of people think about Minnesota except for Minnesotans. So I think it's just been a lot of excitement in the air, especially for kind of what he's done for the state over the last few years. So yeah, it's a weird energy, I would say.
Do I have responsibilities? No. Okay, it's like wait.
Just off the top of my head, I mean, protecting abortion rights, protecting LGBTQIA rights, legalizing cannabis, paid leave, and and then universal school lunches for breakfast and lunch for all kids regardless of income level. So I think that was pretty awesome to see come out of the state.
It makes me proud as a Minnesotan that he is going to be represented and that he can represent our state. He has obviously gone through quite a bit in our state with the events that happened around 2020. So he's got a lot under his belt. I know he's a family man and likes to get around the people, which I see as a great attribute to have.
So we can still go to school. They've been banned from
We need teachers to get paid what they deserve. We need nurses in every school. We need social people that are going to help the kids, more counselors, more social, because the kids are going through things these days more every year than they weren't going through the year before or the years before. Our dynamics of children are changing, the parents are changing, and these kids are going to school learning their manners at school because they're not learning them at home, or getting food at school because they're not getting it at home. And the food needs to be improved at school. It's like they're being fed prison food, and when kids are, I'm gonna start crying, when the kids are at school and they need what they need, they're not getting it. It's frustrating.
I think as far as the political divisiveness in this country now, and Walz has spoke about that, he sees that as a problem, but I think Walz is a big part of that problem. If you go back to COVID, what did they call people who didn't want to get vaccinated? They say they're going to kill people. What did they call people who had worked in a business their whole life, built a business, their family built a business, and Walz told them, you can't conduct your business anymore, your business is closed. And these families went under. That's not a good policy for people. I think that's a terrible policy to do to somebody. You ruin people's lives with COVID. Meanwhile, Walmart's open, Costco's open, Home Depot's open, all these stores, but all these small family businesses in Minnesota went under. People's lives were ruined, and he didn't care, and that was his policies.
In a minute, I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I didn't.
If you're a COVID denier, if you didn't believe 6 feet worked, if you didn't believe the mask actually did anything, you were the enemy. And I think Walz was a big part of painting that picture. And he continues to paint that picture. I'm pretty sure I could dig up a quote of Walz calling Trump Hitler, perhaps, or talking about how democracy's at risk if Trump's reelected, he'll never leave, or some of the other ridiculous things he says about all his political opponents. He's one of the most radical liberals in this country.
She's going in the tank. Yeah. And is your sister coming?
We run it on the other side. Y'all know who I'm talking about, I guess. You see, we remember here in Philly.
Cat ladies for Harris.
coming together and being joyful and just all being on the same page. That's.
I think, yeah, it's also the energy, you know, the crowd, you know, the audience. I definitely think it was great. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yes, I felt so happy being around so many like supportive people. Kamala 24.
I love our governor, Josh Shapiro. He's great and he's dynamic and I'm really glad that he's still going to be the governor. And I also liked our VP here. He seems like a real down to earth and progressive guy, and I think he compliments her well, and I'm looking forward to it.
I present the flag of the United States of America. Now, flags are not traditionally flown ceremonially in my time, but perhaps today we can break with tradition and raise our flag. So, once Frank is ready, on the count of 3, I'm going to shout hip hip, and you all shout huzzah. Understood? Ready? 2, 3. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Excellent. I look forward to seeing you all in my home.
Besides the fact I think that Shapiro is was as qualified as any other potential candidate, I think it would have made a great statement to have 2 people representing minority populations. But you know, in the times we live in, I get it that picking another semi-old but not too old white guy is what might appeal to some undecided people and maybe even some never Trumpers as well.